Hi, superstars. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so in today's course, we'll be talking about how you can know a good dried fish and chemical fish. All right, if you're going into fish business or you want to buy fish in bulk for use, you need to know what a good fish is like. Because you could buy a fish and by the time you get home, you realize that the fish was either rotten inside or had this offensive odor. This can cause people not to buy the fish or render the fish useless. Okay, as such, you run at a loss. So, in this video, I'll be sharing with you every little detail you need to look out for when you're buying your dried fish. As a kid who grew up at Calabar, one of our basic and most commonly used food item was fish. As little as we were able to determine what a good fish looked like, and we were able to buy fish from our local markets around for use at home. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you every little tip I learned that enabled me know a good fish. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you how you can know a chemical dried fish, which is very dangerous to health, so you can avoid it. So stay with me, my superstars, till the end of this video, because there's a lot to be learned. I'm your girl, Idan City Young, and I talk about businesses you can do online and offline to make money. So if you love this kind of content, please subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you. All right, let's delve in. Okay, so in this video, I'll be using catfish for our case study. This is catfish. In my place, Akwa Ibom, they call this inara. All right. Every tip I'll be sharing here applies to every other type of fish, okay? So whatever I'll be using, whatever I'll be saying, you can apply it when you're buying any other type of fish, all right? The first thing you need to look out for when you're buying a dried fish is the color, all right? So as you can see, this fish looks light brownish. You can see it's light brown in color, not dark brown in color. That means it is not well dried. It is a bit damp inside. In my place, they call it ndeden inara. All right. There's nothing wrong with this fish. Actually, it is great. The taste is fantastic. It's good. If you're making okra soup, it is perfect for okra soup. Okay. So it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're taking it on long distances, if you're buying this fish and traveling to a long distance, by the time you get home, it could either start getting rotten inside. Why? Because it's damp inside. The dampness is a very good medium for things like maggots and other things to grow inside, and the fish will start having an offensive odor as a result of heat during transportation. Okay, so if you're transporting it to a very close place, once you get home, you know that you need to dry it again. You need to dry it immediately. If not, maggots and other things could develop in it. But if you're taking it for a long distance, I wouldn't advise that you buy this type of fish. You need to look out for this type of fish displayed right here. Okay, my superstars. All right. The next thing you need to look out for is the inside. Yes, when you carry a fish, you can hit it on your hand gently. If while you're hitting it on your hand, you see things like maggot falling out, okay? Any fish, be it the dark brownish color, you need to hit it gently on your hand to see if anything like maggot or what they call ufia. I'm sorry, I don't know how they call it in English. It's still a crawling type of insect, okay? You need to hit it gently in your hand to see if anything will fall off. If when you hit it and nothing falls out, then it means that fish is in perfect condition. Okay, my superstars. The next thing you need to do is you need to smell it. Is this inner part you're going to perceive? perceive it. Whatever fish you're buying, be it the light brownish color fish or the dark brownish colored fish, you need to smell it. You need to perceive it. If you know you have cold and your nostrils are not working effectively, please don't go for fish buying. Make sure your nose are in perfect condition before you embark on buying fish. Because you need to smell it. If when you smell it, it smells rotten or it has an offensive odor or it has this strong repelling odor, then please don't buy that fish. Even if it is dark brownish in color, looks very appealing, looks well dried, but it has an offensive odor, please don't buy that fish. It means it had started rotting before the person dried it very well. That type of fish won't be, you won't be able to keep it for a long period of time before selling it out. And some customers may notice that offensive odor and refuse to buy that fish. As such, you'll either run at a loss or sell it with little or no profits. Okay, my superstars. Alright, now we'll be talking about how you can know a chemical fish. Okay, so in the market we have so many chemical fishes. What are chemical fish? Chemical fish are fish in which when the fishermen were trying to fish for it, they used chemical. They poured chemical on the surface of the water and the fishes died and floated on top of the water. As such, those fish were already dead before they were being roasted. Okay, so those type of fishes which were caught with chemical are not good for human consumption. Why? Okay, it's not good and safe for human consumption, and most times those type of fish do not have delicious taste. You would buy a fish and you discover that while you're eating it, it tastes like paper, no sweetness at all. That fish is a chemical fish. So if you're buying a dried fish, it is really difficult to know a chemical fish except you test the fish. So what you do is when you're buying from a fish vendor, note that fish vendor. When you buy a dried fish from a fish vendor, note that fish vendor. If you buy it and take it home and you discover that the dried fish has no sweetness and no taste, it means that vendor buys buys a chemical fish. As such, you shouldn't buy from that vendor again. But it is easier to know a chemical fish if it is fresh fish. Okay, my superstars. So in our next video, I'll tell you how you can know a chemical fresh fish. Chemical fresh fish is really hazardous. I know of a friend who consumed chemical fresh fish and landed in a hospital. He was almost dead. They had to use spoon to put in between his teeth to ensure that he didn't die or something before treatment could be administered to him. So in our next video, I'll tell you how you can know a good fresh fish and a chemical dried fish. So keep a date, my superstars. Alright? Till our next video, always and always remember that I love you.